everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Varen, and I am here today with a flip through first impressions. Basically, I want to take a look at this new oracle deck. I got the Archeology oracle deck, and I want to look at it with you. So this is my first birthday present come in. I am so excited. I saw this on Dawn Michelle's channel. I'll link it up above, although a bunch of you probably have heard of it. Sorry, I started clinking my teacup before I stopped talking. So I saw this and I instantly was mesmerized. And it felt like a really good deck to check out. I really wanted it. Now I have it because my birthday's at the end of the month. So it's the Energy Archeology Oracle. It's by Ashley Stinson and illustrated by Kelly Finnan. Apologies for any pronunciation. And then on the back it says, your bones are an oracle. Your bones physically and energetically are your foundation. They flow and transmit energy and frequency at a foundational level based on the deepest energetic resonance of who you are. This incredible intelligence flows through your marrow and is encoded within your very structure. These oracle cards are consciously created to help you access depths in your bones and the wisdom held there. Now, what's interesting is this part's a bit big, and I don't know like why they chose to do it, but it doesn't fully, like, the lid doesn't go on fully. And that's totally okay. So it's gorgeous. And then you take this off, and under here it says, breathe into your bone, breathe into your bone wisdom, let it settle in your marrow. And I'm like, that is really freaking cool. I will link this deck. It is available through Etsy. So, and then on the back it says, your bones are calling. Are you ready to listen? Oh, God, yes. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes. Okay. Oh, dear. So, oh, God, this is really nice. I'm going to, I have the guidebook. I'm going to just like tuck that aside and maybe zoom in a bit. Maybe not. Tuck the guidebook aside. So these are the backs. Yeah, I am gonna zoom in just a little more. There, that should be good. These are the backs. It's gorgeous. And let's see. You've got this like, looks like DNA strands and then a couple hands with a symbol in between. And let's see. We'll look at the book after. Okay. So looking at the website, these are, it's a 140-page full color guidebook, and the cards, it's 48 cards with each bone or group of bones in the human body represented. I'm not seeing where it says about the cardstock. Sorry, I found it. Luxe cardstock with a buttery matte soft touch finish that shuffles beautifully, which is really great because it's like, it's matte, but it's not super sticky. So it's kind of rose petal-y. I can already see that it is getting fingerprints on it, but that will wear out. So let's just zoom in and take a look at these cards. This is a new camera, so I don't know how well it's showing focusing. Hold on. Hopefully this is good because it is a new camera. I did have to get a new phone. So hopefully the image is okay. It's kind of hard to tell. It does look a bit like washed out. The color looks comparatively a bit washed out here. than it is in real life. Like there's much more green, at least according to like standing up looking at my phone. So we'll see. So the first card we have is activating, and it's your right foot. Allowing for the mandible. Attachment, I love this art, for the atlas vertebra. Attunement for the fingers. All the snakes in this already. Belonging for the sacrum or sacrum. Blessing and burden for the left scapula. Capacity for the thoracic spine. That's really cool. Catalyst for floating ribs. Oh, this is really pretty. I've seen some of the images, but I haven't watched like any flip throughs. Co-creation for the radius plus ulna and the tibia and fibula. So these bones. Connection from the ilium. Creation for the pelvis. Makes sense. Dreaming for the occipital. These are stunning. Expectation for the maxilla and temporal. This one is one of my absolute favorite images. Flexibility for the cervical spine. I want to put this aside because actually this is my animal for the week from the Illustrated Bestiary. So I want to put this aside and I really want to read this. And this is one of the images that just haunts me. Forgiveness for the patellas. Giving for the right hand. Wow, this is beautiful. Grace for the elbows. Identity for the frontal bone. That's super cool. Informing is the left orbital socket. Wow, these are just, the art on this is just stunning. Inheritance for the pubis. Inspiration for the parietal. I also really love this image. And this one, what the fuck? Look at this. Integrating for the humerus and femurs. Listening for the inner ear. Duh. Love for the fourth finger and toe. That's cool. And again, makes sense because 1, 2, 3, 4. Open for the clavicles. This is so cool. Perspective for the orbital. So I love this image. This is another one that really haunts me because like you can barely see that it's bones. It just looks like the owl. It's so well done. I love the moody color palette in this. At least it's what I would call a moody color palette. Pleasure for the fifth finger and toe. I love, oh my God, this is so. Potential for the hyoid. Power for the third finger and toe. Oh my God. I love it. This is, again, very haunting images. Pride for the second finger and toe. Protection for the true ribs. That's interesting. Pulse for the wrists. Receiving for the left hand. Okay. So the one, I already have like one kind of qualm. Not everyone in the world is is right-handed. So I am not. I am left-handed. My left hand is not about receiving energy. It's about sending energy. My right hand is for receiving energy. So my one qualm is that it assigns it. So I'm going to guess that the person creating this is right-handed. as most people are, I believe. Statistically, there's more right-handed people than left-handed, which is kind of weird. Because there's also a belief in like witchcraft and such work that our dominant hand is the hand we send energy with, and our non-dominant hand is the energy we receive energy with. So this is based on that, but it's the wrong hand for me. So it's just a bit like, that is something that is perhaps almost a bit prescriptive, but I can work with it. Refine for the ankles. Release for the ischium. Interesting. Oh, here's another beautiful snake. Resonance for the spinal column. This is gorgeous. Responsibility for the right scapula. Or scapula. Rest for the palatine bone. Sovereignty for the coccyx. Okay, that I need to look at. That's my word of the year, if you're new. If you're new here, I do words of the year, and mine is sovereignty, and the death card is my card of this year. Stability for the lumbar spine. This is another one, that image that just gets me. Supporting for the left foot. Surrender for false ribs. This was my word last year, so I love that they have both sovereignty and surrender. Transform for the sphenoid. Transition for the axis vertebra. Visioning for the right orbital socket. This image here too. Vulnerability for the sternum. Wisdom for the teeth. Interesting. And then the last one is worthy. Ow. For the first finger and toe. So I do have 3 cards set aside, but I am going to shuffle this and see how it feels. It says right on the Etsy listing for a beautiful shuffle. So yeah, that's a pretty nice shuffle. It is a tiny bit sticky. Like this isn't a deck that will fan very well, at least not at the beginning. It's clumpy. But I do have the Starseeker Tarot, which is a very rose petal-y deck. And I have used that deck a lot. And that deck was super sticky at first. And I love the sound of sliding one card off another. And that deck has worn in quite nicely. So I'm confident that this will wear in well as well. Now, let's put these just to the side and let's take a look at this guidebook. I want to see what kind of stuff is in here. There's a prayer for gratitude. Okay, cool. There's a nice content page. So it's understanding the deck, working with the deck, deepening your understanding, and then the energy oracle itself. I love that they have that and they put it in alphabetical order. Oh, and they have reference points. Oh, that's really cool. So they have a diagram of reference of like to point to the bones in the body. Your skeleton is miraculous. It holds and translates the story of your lifetimes as a foundational energetic structure. Your bones underpin and ground your core energetic resonance in this lifetime, as well as data and energies being brought forward from your ancestral lineages, past lives, and other dimensional realities. The Energy Archeology Oracle deck and accompanying guidebook have coalesced the framework of your energetic bone body and present a simple, usable way to understand how energy flows and functions at this level. The framework for embodied energy in these cards and throughout the following pages is a drastic departure from what you may have learned about your body or even your energy. I have spent thousands of hours exploring this energetic scaffolding on my own and in individual and group sessions with clients. The wisdom presented in this deck and these pages is a knowing. It has come through me and is as natural as my beating heart. I didn't learn what is presented here. I know it at the deepest level of my soul. You could even say I know it in my bones. This same knowing is in your bones and is waking up, as if stretching after a long slumber. You will feel it as you begin to work with this deck. A nudge here, a twinge there, the faintest whisper of truth as you read these words. This deck and guidebook will help you understand what is contained within your foundational energetic anatomy. This is the story of your bones. Breathe in this wisdom and let it settle in your marrow. Beautiful. So it talks about backgrounds and environments of this deck. It talks about flora and fauna. So it's talking about the things in the deck, the backgrounds and environments, the flora and fauna, the light and energy. This will be really interesting. And then in the working with the deck section, we have as an oracle, as a reference manual, a journal practice, the cycle of communication. You can use this deck to learn how to communicate with your bones and listen to what they have to say. There's a way of doing this that creates trust, right relationship, and an openness to being heard. It releases expectations and frees your embodied intuition to guide you in the way it needs. I call this the cycle of communication. Huh. So there's more about, you can use it for noticing, you can use it to sitting with and expanding. So this is more in the cycle of communication, how you can use this book, taking action, integrating a card a day. And then, sorry, the cycle of communication ends with integrating, and then we have spreads. So we have, and this is interesting, around the outside, it says what section. So we have a 1-card reading. The block and the breakthrough, that's a really good way. Finding expansion. Release resistance, 4-card spread. Microcosm and macrocosm, that's really cool. Alchemical magic. Pathway to clarity. So there's quite a few spreads. And then deepening your understanding. So this section is for if you want to understand the intricacies of your bone energy body beyond simply using these cards as an oracle deck. Anatomy, bone, alchemy, and the pathways in your energetic body illuminate the relationship between bones and how energy flows are ordered and maintained. Through these relationships, you gain a deeper understanding of how pieces connect, meanings build, and your story comes to the forefront. Instead of understanding what is in the bones as bits and pieces held separate from each other, you'll see how the foundational realm of your energy is intricately connected and reflected. And so there's a anatomy section. There's a bone alchemy. That is really fucking cool. There's archetypal energy, the elements in your bones. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. I like this. Remember earlier how I said, like, my left hand is not for receiving? They addressed handedness and energy pathways. So we're going to read about this because I spoke about this specific thing. About 90% of the population are right-hand dominant, approximately 9% are left-handed, and the remaining 1 are genuinely ambidextrous, meaning they can use both sides equally. Some people experience a range of ambidexterity but still have a dominant side. That makes sense. I'm left-handed. I write with my left hand, but I do a lot of things with my right hand as well. Ooh, okay. Energy naturally wants to flow in through your non-dominant side and out through your dominant side. If you are ambidextrous, you have the gift of reversing your energy flow according to the situation, environment, or person you're interacting with. As you understand how your energy flows and decondition the ways you were taught to show up in the world, this gift naturally comes to the forefront. That is super freaking cool. The Energy Archeology Oracle was written with the majority in mind, so any card that is associated a left or right designation is assuming energy is flowing in on the left and out on the right. If you are left-handed or ambidextrous, the names and energetic resonance of the bone's inner pathways do not change, but the energy flow does. When pulling cards in a spread or a reading, explore the keyword that comes up in the way it is intended. However, if you are using the guidebook as a reference manual or trying to uncover a persistent issue in an area that has a left or right designation, you'll interpret them differently as follows. And then it gives different interpretations. This is phenomenal. This is it. This is life. This is how it should be done. I totally understand that the Oracle deck would be created with the majority in mind, because then it has the most wide use. I get that. I totally do. What I love the most about this is that without any prompting, the creator, Ashley, was like, there are not just people who are right-handed. They thought beyond the majority. They thought about also the minority in this applicable situation. They considered everybody. And they made sure there's a special section so that way people like me can still use this deck in all the ways that people who are right-handed, who this deck was designed more for, can use it. And that is that's all you need to inclusivity. All you need to being inclusive is consider that there will be people who things are different for, and to, like, they did the accommodation. They did the thing that was required, so that way this deck is just as user-friendly for someone who is left-handed or ambidextrous as for someone who is right-handed. And that is phenomenal. 1 billion points. And then we're into the deck. So I have 3 cards here that I really, really wanted to look at more. God, they're so gorgeous. So flexibility. My only qualm, this font is a bit hard to read. Luckily, for me, it's not much of an issue. However, I could see that it would be for a lot of people. Flexibility is how you moderate and modulate confluences of energy while not compromising your alignment. It is a graceful dance. Okay. What is confluences? I highly recommend looking up words. The active process of merging. Okay. So it talks about the properties. The element of this card is water. When it's in balance, it's fluid, balanced, freely given. When it's out of balance, it's stiff, reluctant, coerced. And the associated cards are attachment, capacity, potential, transition. There's a little section about the anatomy. Then there's the energy. Then there's wisdom. Then there's questions. And that's the format. So the cervical spine is both incredibly delicate and intensely strong. These vertebrae, with their expanded range of motion and flexibility, align to and transmit a huge volume of energy. But it's that physical articulation and energetic role that makes it prone to misalignment of both. This is an inherently sensitive channel. Yes, I'm trying to break the spine of my book. There we go. And I don't give a shit. This is an inherently sensitive channel, and alignment relies on the individual energies that come together at these 7 bones. The fluidity and flexibility of the cervical spine are a lesson in convergence. The cervical spine is the location of merging energies from the entirety of your energetic bone body. Everything from the arms and legs flows to the spine and up. Everything in the head flows through the skull and down. The energies all meet right here at your neck. Wisdom. Flexibility is an indicator of your ability to moderate and modulate confluences of energy while not compromising what you align to and with. It is a graceful dance, the strength to meet many parts of yourself in one place, and the sensitivity to feel each of them. The boldness to speak truth to what's not aligned, and the vulnerability it requires to do so. The ferocity to uphold boundaries that keep you present and open, and the softness of self to adjust them when your capacity shifts. This convergence teaches you to find space, depth, and elongation, to know that there is always plenty of time and energy to feel what is coming up to be felt, to speak to what is asking for your truth, and to consciously be present. Volume does not equal haste. When you rush, constrict, and contract, you shift out of alignment and impact your flexibility. You become rigid, stuck, unable to enforce boundaries, say yes to synchronistic opportunities, let go of the past, or stop living in the future. Find space in your neck so you can be flexible in the shifts that come with growth. And the questions: where or how am I being asked for more flexibility? Where or how am I asking someone else for flexibility? Is there a truth I need to speak to maintain my alignment and ability to flow? In what ways am I willing to bend or stretch right now? And in what ways am I immovable and rooted in my standards and values? That is friggin' fabulous. And now my book is completely broken. That's fine. I'll just flatten it out. So, I don't actually really want to read these two cards all right now. I want to look, I wonder if I have any decks that I think will go with this. I'm just staring off at my tarot deck collection, thinking, this is an extremely unique art style. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have any decks that I think will go with this, but that's this deck. I'm really excited. I feel a little overwhelmed. I think this is going to be a pretty incredible and intense tool. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it. I really just kind of want to spend some time with it. And I love the size and shape. I love the cardstock. It, like, the stickiness doesn't bother me because it's so nice and soft, and I like the softness. It does bow a little, but it also bends back pretty easy. So yeah, so that is the Energy Archeology Oracle by Ashley Stinson. I am super excited to know, do you have this deck? If so, how do you use it? Where do you work with it? Actually, it might go pretty well with the Tarot of Oneness. How do you work with it if you have it? And I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, I'm going to, and I'm actually really excited because the guidebook actually seems like the type of guidebook I might like read. I don't read my guidebooks front to back. I read them based on the thing. Because that's what I do. But I might actually read this one. I'm very excited. So yeah, that's that. And I just thought it'd be fun to come in and share that with you. So I'm going to let you go here. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. It is a very small, simple, easy way that you can help my channel and help support me in my work. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification and leave a comment down below. All of these things really help me. If you would like other ways to support my channel and my work, you can check out the description box. In the description box, I have a link to my YouTube channel membership. I have a link to my Patreon where I create resources and do newsletters and stuff. It's all like astrology, tarot, journaling based stuff, but it's written resources. So you get PDFs that you can download, you get tarot spreads, yada, yada. You can check that out. You can also check out my website. I am a professional astrologer, and I also, I'm a professional astrologer and tarot reader. I have a lot of services where I combine the both, and work with them together, and I love it. And I'm working on putting out more resources, specifically astrology-wise, so you can check that out. And I hope to see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.